the sun, he comes across a body of water. There are only two bodies of water to the left, on the west, when you're going north. The two are, I hope you did some geography, the two are the Mediterranean Sea, and then north of the Mediterranean Sea is another sea called the Black Sea. The Black Sea. And the Quran describes this body of water as Aynun Hamiyah, dark and murky, indicating that visibility under the water is small. And this is precisely the nature of the Black Sea. That's why it got its name, the Black Sea. Whereas in the Mediterranean Sea, you can see a few meters down, the water is clearer. The Black Sea has so much, I think it's called algae, that you can only see a meter or so underneath. And so, the commentator of the Quran, Ibn Kathir, like so many others at the beginning of Islam, had no doubt in their mind that when the Quran spoke of Aynun Hamiyah, it was referring to the Black Sea. And then he traveled in the direction of the rising of the sun, and there had to be a spot where he had to stop to watch the sun rising. There's another sea out there, and that's which sea is it? Caspian Sea. And I do wish we had enough time to dwell on the subject because it's so fascinating. And in between, he goes north and he comes across the pass between the mountains. And that's the Caucasus Mountains. And it is in this pass between the mountains that he builds the barrier. The people who were located there were a people لا يفقهون قولا. You could not understand their language. In other words, they did not speak a language that was in any way similar to the languages of that region. They did not speak a language which bore any similarity to the languages of that region. And that is precisely the characteristic of the Georgian language. And these people ask Zulkarnain to build a barrier to protect them from Gog and Magog. But Allah has given him the power to pursue any objective he chose to pursue. Why would he agree to build a barrier? There's only one logical implication. He doesn't have the power to destroy them. I have created, this is Hadith al-Qudsi, Sahih Muslim, creatures of mine so powerful that none but I can destroy them. Not even Osama bin Laden. Only I can destroy them. And he builds, they ask him to build a sad. And then the language changes in the Quran and he agrees to build a radam. The radam is like a dam. That if you cover this space, you're able to contain the water. And the pass, the shape of the pass is sadafain, described by the Quran as sadafain. The two sides of an open shell, like that. And that is precisely the shape of the Darial Gorge between the Caucasus Mountains. So we do have the capacity to identify the geographical location. When they are released, when he built this barrier, then they were contained. they could neither scale nor could they penetrate. And he then declared, as Alexander could not have declared, no, you know Alexander, they call him Alexander the Great. He declared, هَذَا رَحْمَةٌ مِّن رَبِّي. I don't know that Alexander worshipped the one God. I thought he worshipped Zeus and Venus, who was a goddess, and so on. هَذَا رَحْمَةٌ مِّن رَبِّي. فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي. But when that time comes of which my Lord has won, جَعَلَهُ دَكَّا. Allah is going to bring down this barrier. وَكَانَ وَعْدُ رَبِّ حَقًّا. And then the warning of my Lord will come to pass. How did he get that knowledge? It had to be communicated to him by Allah. Would Allah communicate this knowledge to Alexander, who worshipped Zeus? And yet so many commentators of the Quran are persuaded that Zulkarnain was Alexander the Great, or Iskandar. It is in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ. Or remember that when the people spoke to Zulkarnain and begged him to build a barrier, they referred to Gog and Magog as agents of fasad. They said to him, إِنَّ يَأْجُوجَ وَمَأْجُوجَ مُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. We have one here who has come from Netherlands but born in Morocco.